Since the launch of AI in late 2022, we've been deeply connected to artificial intelligence, and we've been deeply connected intentionally. So we've been asking ourselves a bunch of questions since then. Number one, what is artificial intelligence? So what is it at a base level foundationally? Number two, how will this impact the coaching profession? So as coaches, we understand what AI is. Now we have to ask ourselves the question, will this have an impact in coaching? And we've answered that question over the past few years. The short of it is yes. Any new technology and advancements should actually impact all professions. So it's up to us to identify, does it impact us in a positive or a negative way? And then the third question that we asked ourselves back in 2022 is, how can we leverage this new technology to move the profession forward, to be better coaches? So since then, we've done a lot, right? We've launched various courses in artificial intelligence and how it relates to the coaching profession. We've held a few webinars, kind of challenging coaches' ideas, giving them tips and leading them over to our courses. And we've also developed a pretty robust prompt database where we kind of laid out, hey, coach, this is this thing called ChatGPT, and here's how you can leverage it. Here's some things you can ask it. Here's some context that you can give it to kind of nudge you in the right direction and just be your coaching assistant. And it all brings us to this point. So back in 2022, we started working on something internally in our platform, CoachRx. We knew from then that we needed to create something natively in CoachRx, but something better than just like a chat bot that you can talk back and forth with and ask questions to, because ChatGPT did that just fine. So brings us to today. So now we're launching and we're discussing this new thing called RxBot. So we're really excited about this. We've been working on this in the background for about a year and a half now, and we're excited to actually show you what this thing is. All right, let's talk about why we even created RxBot. So there's a lot of reasons. I could say like to improve coaching efficiency, to give a coach a nudge, maybe do this in program design versus that, to more automate program design. All that stuff is true. But the foundational reason as to why we created RxBot is to free up time so that coaches can do what we believe is most valuable, and that's to build the coach-client relationship. So we're not saying, hey, use AI and automate the entire process so you can then, go on the beach and just hang out and let AI coach your clients. That's not what we're doing. What we're doing is we're saying, hey, let's let AI be our assistant in some of the more administrative things, the program design things, stuff like that, so that we can reallocate that time to discussing the whys behind that program design with our clients, understanding what our clients' deepest values and goals and beliefs are, and all of those things. Foundationally, it's just we want coaches to reallocate that time to better connect their clients to what they're doing, not only their program design, but what they're doing in their lifestyle, what they're doing in terms of, my goals and my relationships from here to here to here. So that's why we created RxBot, is to allow the coaches more time to actually connect with their clients on a deeper level. All right, now let's talk about how RxBot works. And I want to talk about this first from a foundational level. So the interesting thing, and the thing that we're really excited about, is that foundationally, RxBot is built on the OPEX Fitness knowledge base. So what does that mean? There's over 3 million characters that are inside of our own knowledge base that are based on the past few decades of the principles that we have taught at OPEX. So in short, all of the strength training that RxBot shoots out and all of the energy systems training, so aerobic and anaerobic work, is looking at the OPEX knowledge base first. But it's also looking at the broader range of knowledge that, let's just call AI has across the entirety of the internet. So rest assured that the programs that RxBot is shooting out are tried and true, and they're based on principles. RxBot also incentivizes you to use CoachRx to its fullest capabilities. So what do I mean by that? So when you design a training program for your client using RxBot, RxBot is looking at all of the information that you put in as their coach in their client profile. So it's looking at things like, what is this client's goal? What are their priorities? What equipment do they have access to? It's looking at very specific assessment results. If you're doing movement screening and you're putting notes on the movement screen and prioritize this versus that, it's looking at all of that. If you're testing 1RMs or if you're testing energy systems assessments, it's looking at all that as well. Also, if you're building planning and periodization inside of CoachRx, RxBot is also going to consider that in terms of, I'm going to give client A this on Monday because the coach said that the client should be getting this on Monday. So there is a huge incentive to use CoachRx and to coach your clients better and to feed CoachRx more information on that client so RxBot can better personalize that training program. Also, the user flow on your side in your client's calendar to generate a program is absolutely seamless. So all you have to do is open up that RxBot button on your client's calendar. You determine what days of the week your client is going to train. You determine the number of weeks you want RxBot to design that training program for. And then you define what your client's focuses are in strength training and in energy systems training. And then you can also add specific context to resistance training, like, hey, I want to focus on my upper body specifically or lower body specifically. And then energy systems training, if you're doing aerobic base work, hey, make sure you focus on cyclical modalities only for this program. And then you can give overarching context at the bottom as well. And we love this because you can even personalize the program even more, and you can kind of refine that program and that output even more through this user flow. Once you're good to go there, you're just gonna go ahead and click Generate Workout. Once the workout is generated, you'll always receive a summary from RxBot, and RxBot is just telling you why it designed the program the way that it did, what inputs did it use, how it used this goal versus that goal, or that priority versus that priority. So you'll always get that really succinct summary at the top. And then the workouts will begin to appear day by day. So go ahead, take your time, review the workouts, kind of start thinking in your head, you know, what would I change? Is this a good session for this client? Is this something that I'm going to assign? Do I need to make any edits, so on and so forth. Once the entire program is generated, you can then go ask RxBot more specific questions. So you could ask it questions like, what principles did you use to land on using Romanian deadlifts as A on Wednesday? Or what principles did you use in this aerobic session on Friday? You could also ask RxBot other questions like, hey RxBot, this is my client Jane, and I want you to give me a really succinct explanation in layman's terms explaining this program to Jane so I can then send it over. Possibilities are endless, but you can kind of ask additional questions there. Once you're ready to go, just go ahead and click that button, Assign Program, and all of those workouts will appear right there on the calendar. So if you did need to make any adjustments, superset, unsuperset, change an exercise, whatever the case is, you can go and make those smaller refinements right there on your client calendar, and it is as easy as that. And that is RxBot. So we could promise you one thing: what you are delivered today in RxBot is going to be the worst that it will ever be, because we will continue to iterate on this thing. We will continue to take it from program design. We're going to implement this thing all over the platform, but we really want to refine and make sure it works really well for program design first. Okay, so we hope that you enjoy the technology. Give us any feedback. Our goal with this technology is to help you, the coach. So if I can offer any advice personally, it would be to just use this thing as your coaching assistant. Use this thing not to just save time in your coaching practice, but use this thing so you can reallocate that time to building really strong relationships, increase your retention, and actually get better results with your clients, as well as use CoachRx to its fullest capabilities. So again, we've said this since day one with AI across all tools. The better the input, the better the output. So behind the scenes, that's why we focus so much on what is happening, behind the scenes and in the back end with the input that we're giving RxBot based on the client. So dig into CoachRx, fill out assessment data, have consults with your clients, determine goals, determine priorities, put all that stuff in. It'll make you a better coach, of course, but it'll also help RxBot. So we appreciate it, guys, and thank you for taking the time to watch this. And we hope that RxBot increases your value as a fitness coach.